XRP, Bill Clinton, Wyoming, EOS, Brexit, Semiconductors, money laundering, BitTorrent, Coca-Cola. We've got all your headlines mixed with some daily market analysis. I'm Elio Trades, and your FUD TV Daily Update starts now. Before we begin, I just wanted to touch back. If you guys remember the Crypto Invest Summit that I talked about a few days ago, I was actually able to work with the event creators, the event managers, and get some free tickets for my FUD Nation. That's right. If you put in code FUDTV into the promotional code section, you will be able to redeem a free ticket to the Crypto Invest Summit. A free ticket, that's right. It's worth several $100s, but here's the catch. Only the first 20 people will be able to redeem the code. So if you're one of the first 20 people, if you have my bell notification turned on like I tell you to do, then you will probably be made aware of this in quick enough time that you can get to this. It's here in LA, October 22nd through 24th. Put in code FUDTV and you'll get yourself a free ticket. First 20 people only. I love you guys. I hope to see you there. We have to start today with Ripple. The headline announcement from Ripple is that their signature product, xRAPID, which actually utilizes the XRP token, is going live and is now commercially available. While there have been some commercial tests of the xRAPID system, the reality is that it's just really getting underway and that there's not a lot of big sort of huge banks and brands using it yet. They do have 3 exchanges, Bittrex, Bitso, and CoinsPH. These exchanges will mostly be using xRAPID to move between fiat currencies and the XRP token, whether that be the US dollar, the Philippine currency, or the Mexican peso. Ripple also announced the integration of xRAPID into OnePayFX, which is a payment system being released by Santander Bank. Santander Bank is worth $80 billion. It's a huge bank. So I'm having a little bit of trouble distilling here whether this Santander partnership is actually going to be using the XRP token or whether they're just going to be using Ripple's blockchain technology to facilitate cross-border payments. As you know, Ripple has 3 different products. They have xVia, xCurrent, and xRAPID. Now, xVia and xCurrent use blockchain, but not the XRP token. xRAPID is a faster version of the other 2 services, and that's because it uses the XRP token to go in and out of currencies instead of waiting on the sort of distributed ledger to communicate with more fiat entities, fiat-driven entities. So with that in mind, I actually want to know specifically whether the XRP token is going to be being used by Santander or whether this is just going to be an xCurrent or xVia integration where they're actually using Ripple's blockchain technology but not the xRAPID token or not the XRP token. And to be honest, these articles read kind of confusingly, so I need to dig a little bit deeper into this. If you have any more information, put it in the comment section below. I'm very curious right now whether the Santander partnership is going to be using XRP or whether the Santander partnership is just partnering with Ripple and using RippleNet, but not using the XRP token in xRAPID. So we will have to see about that. Regardless, it's a big step forward, and we can assume that if xRAPID is extremely successful and a better service than xCurrent and xVia by use of the XRP token, then it's only a matter of time before these big entities like Santander start using XRP. Bill Clinton came out on the Swell conference, which is Ripple's conference that was held this week, and essentially proclaimed the enormous benefits that blockchain technology or distributed ledger technology could have if divisive social and legal policies don't, quote, ruin it. At any rate, it's just interesting to keep seeing, people in positions of interesting influence try to push forward the distributed ledger technologies. Really, it seems to be absent of a party or political designation. The promise of blockchain seems to be pretty universal, and while people definitely want to figure out the right buckets to regulate it, it doesn't seem like there's any political party or left or right side that favors it more. It seems like this is pretty open, even though, at first we know that, blockchain and Bitcoin in specific was kind of a libertarian ideal. It was associated very heavily with libertarianism, absolutely no oversight and regulation. And I don't think that right now you could say that it has any real political party. I think it's a pretty universal concept here of this new innovation that people are all really excited about. And I think that's what's really exciting for me, is to hear people from all sort of sides of the equation really excited about it, whether it's liberal, Democrat, conservative, Republican, libertarian, really any designation. I think people are all very excited by this technological innovation that we're experiencing. So that's what gets me excited, is seeing that this isn't being pigeonholed into one side of the economy or the political landscape. Now we have word that Wyoming, of all places, is looking into creating a digital assets friendly bank that would allow and really be focused on attracting cryptocurrency and blockchain businesses to the region, to the state. So if you weren't planning on heading to Wyoming anytime soon, you might have to change your plans, because this might be actually the friendliest place from a legislative or regulatory standpoint for you to launch and develop your cryptocurrency or digital assets business. Again, hospitality towards these types of businesses will create new types of economic excitement, new types of movement. Just look at what's happening in Malta, and I think you can see that. You're also seeing South Korea, Switzerland, France, other different places popping up. But now we have Wyoming that we have to add to the list as the potential next crypto valley. Very exciting stuff. We also have word now that Block 1 is saying that it vows to use its EOS tokens to prevent cartels from forming on the EOS network. According to an unverified document, however, which was supposedly or allegedly released by an employee of one of the top 21 block producers at the EOS network or in the EOS network, there is actually mutual voting pacts where these block producers will essentially keep each other elected, meaning that there's essentially a cartel, a group of people that are protecting each other's interests and making sure that the actual voting isn't democratic and that it's not really people being elected. It's a cartel of people that are protecting each other and keeping each other elected for mutual gain. This is very, very scary, or not very, very scary. I don't want to be an alarmist, but this is exactly what people kind of warn against, which is, oh, when you have on-chain governance and liquid democracy, but that liquid democracy is solely connected to how much money or how much stake you have, then you have always in these blockchain communities a few big whales that really have more than anyone else. Either they created the environment or they were one of the first parties to help sort of partner with the environment. They were one of the first big investors in the environment. And at any rate, they're going to get and undo a very heavily weighted stake. And that would mean that they have truly undue influence over the future of that entire organization. So for that reason, EOS is saying that they deny this and that they're going to work to prevent this. However, it's kind of hard right now when they've set up a system where these block producers don't even need EOS in the equation to essentially keep each other elected and to make agreements with each other. We also have reports that blockchain is going to be potentially integral into maintaining status quo on trade and international relations while the EU and the UK figure out the status of a soft or hard or medium strength Brexit. The details of Brexit are still being negotiated between the UK and the EU, but it's hopeful, or at least in the nation of Ireland, they are hopeful that DLT will help them ensure a status quo and that their trade and that their international relations, or the relations with the EU, are maintained. And that's because if the UK leaves and Northern Ireland, being part of the UK, leave the European Union, but Ireland, a member of the EU, stays in the EU, then you have sort of an island that's divided with part of it still in the EU, part of it not. And there's sort of a physical pragmatism to how they're going to get their goods and services and have that not become a hard border, if you will. And so there's some things to be worked out, but apparently blockchain is really where everyone's looking to help facilitate international goods and services. This really might be a shining example of how blockchain can sort of erase the need and the real concern for borders here. We'll keep you updated as these negotiations unfold, but it's a very interesting use case and case study for blockchain in really removing the stress of borders and what they mean for international trade and helping people really in a peer-to-peer way communicate, track, and manage different goods and services internationally. Very interesting stuff. We're definitely just gonna have to see how the cookie crumbles on this. And apparently, of all the industries in the world, the place where blockchain adoption is at its highest is in the use of semiconductor creation. That's right, 88% of semiconductor producers expect to have blockchain technology integrated into their manufacturing process by the end of next year. That is huge. Top executives claim that they can assist in lowering operational cost, enhancing intercompany collaboration, and improving efficiency in the supply chain. So very cool stuff. And we can only hope that other industries take to blockchain in the way that semiconductors and their production lines have. We also have word that there's yet another stablecoin coming into the world. If you didn't see my rant on stablecoins, I encourage you check out my video from yesterday. I tried to explain in a very simple way how when you create a stablecoin, for the most part, you keep most of your initial investment. A lot of times these new stablecoins, they get together a bunch of US dollars, or in this case, it'll be Great British pounds. They create an amount of coins that are tied to the amount of money that they have in that bank, and then they trade the coins. But a lot of the times, almost always right now, there's not really a redemption mechanism. So you trade your coins, you trade these coins, and they get Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies in exchange. And in the meantime, while people are out trading their coins, the people who created the stablecoin end up not only having the initial bank account that they created, which very few people are redeeming their coins for actual hard currency, and a lot of these coins don't even have a redemption mechanism. So they keep their initial money, they end up trading and getting their Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies on top of that, and then they have this huge pool of money that they can leverage and make gains with, much in the way that Robinhood and Venmo have played those money games. Even Zappos is famous for playing those money games because they knew that 4 out of 5 of their shoes were going to get returned, because e-commerce is a nightmare. Finding a shoe that fits online is a nightmare. So people would order multiple and then return, 3, 4 out of the 5 shoes that they ordered. But in the meantime, Zappos was keeping that money and making leveraged gains on it. So their business model was not even about selling shoes as much as it was about playing money games. Much of these can be played with the sort of stablecoin game, and that's why you keep hearing about all of them. It's almost like creating a bank. It's an interesting way to sort of just take money and make a lot more money. It's interesting stuff, and it makes me very sure that we're going to see the news of a lot more stable coins in the near future. We also have word that Project Atlas is going live. So if you were a fan of Tron's Project Atlas integration, this is where you can earn cryptocurrency for seeding different files on the BitTorrent network. This is very interesting. Obviously, we don't know whether it's going to be the TRON TRX token or whether BitTorrent will do an ICO and release their own token. That is TBD, but it would be very interesting to see what happens here. I'm interested if you know and you guys have actual verified proof of which coin it's going to be. I don't think there is such a thing because I don't think they've released those details, but it would be interesting to know which coin they're going to be using. I have a feeling they're not going to be using TRX, but they're actually going to be creating a BitTorrent coin for this precise purpose. And finally, we have a report that the cryptocurrency market caps valued at just 225 billion don't even launder as much money as single branches of banks have been found to, as the Danske Bank has laundered $235 billion, as a new report explains. So that's kind of something that I find very interesting, is when you hear that cryptocurrencies are being used for illicit activities, specifically money laundering or facilitating of horrific crimes and stuff. It's very important to remember that traditional money, traditional banks, traditional financial services have been the most guilty. They have the most blood on their hands. It's not even a comparison. Traditional banks have been used to launder more money than any cryptocurrency, than the entire cryptocurrency market combined. This is about technology. This is about a new way to have assets move. This is not about, illicit activities. Granted, there was the Silk Road days, and we can't deny that those existed, but the reality is that the cryptocurrency industry has matured significantly from those days, and that's not what defines this new technology, even a little bit. And finally, to end on a lighter note, here's somebody buying a Coca-Cola with Bitcoin via the Lightning Network. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope this episode has refreshed you like a tall glass of icy Coca-Cola. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Throw me a comment in the comment section below. As usual, it's been amazing having you with me here. I'm Elio Trades. You're watching FUD TV, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.